Hello, everyone, and good morning. My name is Frank Anthony, and welcome to another episode of Walk Talk. This is just episode 8. It's kind of unofficial, to be honest, because this isn't like some show or anything, but just for fun a little bit. And obviously, I'm not walking at this moment, and people who've watched my last live video might be wondering, Frank, you said you were going to do these videos later in the day, and now you're doing it in the morning. We're just gonna see what happens. It looks like it's gonna be rainy and just like crappy weather all day, and with like tornado warnings and hurricane warnings and thunderstorm warnings and crap. Just with all that stuff happening, I figure I'll do an inside episode today, and maybe I'll go for a walk later, depending on how the weather precedes us. So yeah, so I had a thought last night, and I figured instead of waiting until later in the day that I would just get it out this morning. And also, don't mind me, I'm wearing some merch. I could put a link in the comments if you guys are curious on that. Anyway, though, the main topic, and I'll try to wave at as many people as I can as everyone gets in. So, anyway, so today's topic so I was listening last night I have an app called Calm. So for people that don't know what that is, it's like a meditation app, but it also has some cool music. And long story short, I ended up getting a membership through them, and it just helps me meditate. And there's good sleep tracks if you have trouble sleeping. I definitely recommend those. I've passed right out from beach waves because I love the beach and stuff. So I've just, passed out right from that. But anyway, Suz Orman, she is in the finance world. That name might be familiar, you could look her up. She was doing kind of like this they do mini episodes called The Spark on there now, and she was just talking about, I thought she was going to talk strictly about finance stuff, but she really got into a topic that I didn't think someone like her would. Probably just a poor assumption, honestly, but she was talking about how we need to put people before money. And obviously she's in finance, so she would talk about money and stuff. I found it interesting that her take on this matter, and it made me think about companies that I used to work for. And mostly everyone who's watching is working for some company or has worked for various companies and stuff. A lot of us I know have probably tons of work experience, especially in those 9 to 5 jobs and such and stuff. So I just found that interesting. And with the coronavirus going on, it's, I think, crucial that we really do need to put people before the money. We have our government fighting back and forth, whichever political party you are. In general, we're fighting back and forth about like how much money people should be getting, if they should be getting any money. And it's all this talk about the money and very little bit about people's lives. And obviously there's a bunch of nurses out there and medical professionals that are saving so many people, and so many people are recovering from this, which is amazing. But it just seems like in a lot of companies and corporations and our government, unfortunately, that money is just so much more important than human life. And I just ended up having, some thoughts on that and some personal experience. I used to be a manager in retail. I've been a boss, I guess you could say, in one way or another. And unfortunately, no matter how high I would climb, or I'd see my friends climb that became like store managers and higher and stuff, no matter what level you really were, you were always, unfortunately, just a dollar sign to the person above you. And what ends up happening, and especially during tough times like this with working, is that people get so overworked and they get pushed and tried, and people end up leaving the jobs because it's like, okay, I don't feel appreciated at all. They might not be getting paid any extra. I feel so awful that a lot of people aren't getting hazard pay and stuff. It's awful. I'm working from home, so I've had the luxury of not having to be in that position, but I do feel awful for those employees that have had to be out there and work really hard. Whether you're in the medical field or not, you're working out there in the field, and you're risking your life every day from getting this virus or getting sick or anything, and then bringing it to your families and loved ones. And you're not really getting anything for that. You're not even really getting a thank you at all. It's just, you're expected to just keep working, and there's no And I feel like people are expected to just keep working because people are caring more about the business staying afloat money wise, when I think what's important to remember is that yes, without money, a business will close. But if you don't have those employees, and those employees that actually care and love what they're doing, care about their job and the work that they're performing, that you don't have a business either, unfortunately. And I know there was a time for work when I was a manager, and people, I could tell, for various reasons, employees were starting to get unhappy in the company, and everyone was just calling out. And my head boss at the time, they didn't really understand. Their thought process at the time was, oh, I guess they don't want money, when it was just or like they're lazy or whatever. But it's just such a bigger picture than that. They didn't feel good enough. They didn't feel appreciated enough. They weren't getting enough hours or making enough money to for it to be worth it, pretty much. And so I did notice that everyone was like really starting to call out and just kind of get sick of it. And it does make, and then at that point you have people like myself and my boss, we're the only workers in the store now, and it's like, yes, we can keep the business going, but without all those other people helping, it's fucking hard. And it's not fun. I mean, just think about Amazon. If the CEO was like the only one working at it and didn't have those thousands and hundreds of thousands of workers, that'd be really hard to run. There's so many different things. There's a marketing team, there's the distribution center, there's so many different fields. That's like, people are so important, and thousands of people work in every single company. Just one company alone, you could have a minimum of 10 to 50,000 employees. So it really is important to value those lives and just remember that we are human, that everyone is human, whether it's an employee of yours or a customer, that we're all kind of cut from the same cloth. And what I mean more specifically about that is that we're all human, pretty much. And that, yeah, like we all have different benefits and different advantages and disadvantages that we start at in the world, but we are all human, and we are capable of facing similar experiences, and this definitely being one of them, working. I mean, almost everyone works, so that's a very, I think, relatable topic. And for any bosses that might be watching this video, I just want to remind you to appreciate your employees, and even just, like, even little things go a long way. I mean, I know it's not possible to always be like, you get a raise and you get a raise and whatever, but just valuing your employees does go a long way. Getting them a pizza one day, like, just little random acts of kindness are what's going to keep employees there longer. I feel like the best way to think about it too is, what would you want if you were working somewhere? What benefits, what perks, what little acts of gratitude would you want to stay in a company besides just the paycheck? So that was my little thoughts there. And from personal experience, I've been, like I said, that I was a manager. I've also been that manager that was kind of sucked in, and so I can kind of understand from their point of view too, on some of them, where the work is so frantic and hectic because you're getting pushed from people above, that you get sucked up into this tornado, no pun intended, maybe. You get sucked into this tornado of just chaos and work, and you end up rushing everyone else who's working for you, and you're running around with your head cut off, pretty much, and you forget to acknowledge and appreciate those people, because people's lives are much more important than money. Unfortunately, we don't always treat people like that, and it sucks, and we kind of need to change that. But that's just my thoughts today. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Oh, quick update too. I started my diet Sunday night. I already lost another couple pounds. My skin feels like it's looking great. So yeah, if you guys want more information on that too, I can try to help there too. But I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Have a super special, awesome day. Bye.